I sit a little bit low. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Midlife Priceless. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm trying to give it a minute to get fired up over on the YouTube side. A lot of times I notice that it just doesn't happen. You'll notice I'm not in my usual pajamas. Why? Because I am cold this morning. It was really, really chilly in Florida last night in Tallahassee. It was really chilly. Nice, but chilly. Oh, wow. I had to put on something cozy and come out here on the porch just to talk this morning. I have some thoughts I thought I would share. I also owe you guys an apology. So, welcome to Midlife Priceless. This channel is for baby boomers and people who love hanging out with us and getting to know us. We're very unique. Baby boomers, Generation Jones, as they say. I was looking at my neighbor just passing. He has one of those fierce Hummers. Black with all if they made an accessory for it, he's got it on his truck. Beautiful. Anyway, I wanted to start out with, I guess, the apology. Last night was the end of Black History Month here in the United States. And I did, I had tried to do some sort of installation every day this past month to highlight the contributions, accomplishments, and everything of famous and infamous, I guess to some, um, people of the African diaspora. And it occurred to me that on the 28th day, I should highlight my parents because they are my heroes. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to be known from coast to coast and globally and win all these huge awards. Well deserved for the people who earned them, but you don't have to have all that. I'm sorry, my nose is also running. You don't have to have all of that to be a hero in someone else's life. Good morning, Pluto King. How you doing? And I wanted to highlight my parents as humble people. My father was a contractor, a general contractor. He used to build homes. My mom was a school teacher who taught kindergarten and loved it. And I was so excited. I got StreamYard. Good evening, Pluto. Oh, it is not morning. It's probably evening where you are. Uh, the point of my video was to talk about the everyday person and the contributions they make to help us be who we are and to be successful. And that was important to me. I subscribed and got my StreamYard up and running. I did a test run with a friend of mine who we had planned to do a show anyway. And when I got on StreamYard last night, it was supposed to close out Black History Month, as I said. And what do you think happened? I went live, I had my pictures, I narrated. I didn't even show myself because I wanted them to be the star of the show. I tapped in broadcast or in the live, which means now it should be uploading to the system for other people to watch on the replay. No audio. I could not believe it. I just stood up and stared at my video, my live broadcast with no sound. I don't know what I did wrong, but now I'm upset about it because I'm not certain enough to do the other broadcasts that I said I would do to try to I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, um, that's the apology. I'm sorry that it didn't work out through no fault of my own. But if I wasted your time, I'm sorry. It would have been 11 or 12 minutes of your time. Anyway, um, I did want to point that out though. Look around your life and see if there are other people who are your heroes and who have really made you feel inspired to do your best. If you're just joining, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Miss Margaret, and this is Midlife Priceless. I'm a very casual, laid back kind of person. I never know when I'm going to go live, even though I've been trying to do better. I enjoy my coffee in the morning, as you can see. And this installment, this live, is part of the playlist for what I call Morning Mocha. In the morning, sometimes there are just things that are on my mind. You know, you wake up and you're thinking something, and it's a Saturday, so I've had the space and the bandwidth to be thinking, you know what? I'm going back to my usual pajamas. This thing is just dragging all over me and all the things you can imagine. But it is warming up, and I'm looking at my neighbors across the way there. Somebody's coming in from out of town, it looks like, but he's got a bag and an instrument. I hope he plays some music around here. Original music. I don't want to hear that piped in stuff. Mm. So, on with my thoughts for the day. While I'm cooking my breakfast, it's in the kitchen. I got some freshly made sausage from a farm here in Florida. I try to avoid the supermarkets because it's too factory processed for me. Too salty, too many things, all the things. And I feel better when I eat fresh fruit, fresh food. And one of the things that I enjoy are fresh eggs, fresh ice cream. Have you ever had ice cream off the farm? Oh my God. I see someone hit the like. So, yes, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I do see the comments, unless I've blocked you, in which case you think that I see your comments and I don't. Um, anyway, moving on. I was informed today by a friend of a friend who is being hired by the state of Florida that he had to submit fingerprints. And that's not uncommon. Fingerprinting, background check, all the things. And that it is going to take no less than 2 months to get through the whole process. Can you imagine 2 months? Years ago, when I had to provide fingerprints, and this has been quite a few years ago, and my point is that this is when the system was not as tech savvy as it is today. We're talking a good 20 some odd years ago. When I gave my fingerprints then, I promise you, it took all of about maybe 10 business days. Maybe 10 business days. Now it takes 2 months. Either the world has become exponentially dangerous, or we just have that many people trying to get their fingerprints processed for whatever reason. One thing that comes to mind is passports. I went to the post office to mail a package the other day. I'm here to tell you. The line for passports was about 3 people deep, right? 3 people deep. And then for every 3 people, it went back maybe about 10 or 15 rows of people. That's a lot of people getting passports, and infants and everything. You know, that's a whole different um, task and challenge to prove that the infant you need a passport for is actually your child. They don't have fingerprints, so what do you do with them? I'm very curious. If anybody knows, please put it in the chat. I would like to know what you do with an infant when you need a passport. So, uh, I'm hoping that when it's my turn to get fingerprinted, if ever I need to be fingerprinted, that this is all kind of improved on the timeline. Pluto King. He says, "Can you send me some money, please? My mother is sick." Pluto, this is what you do: you sell your phone and give your mother the money for her recovery. Don't come in here trying to, you know, don't don't ruin this for the rest of us. We're having a nice morning, okay? Anyway, and I hope she is actually going to recover. I should say that if she's ill, of course I wish her the best. But you know that there's nothing I can do to assist you because we don't know one another now, do we? And where are you located, by the way? I have to believe that you have enough neighbors, friends, and family to assist, send you some money. Anyway, Elon Musk, POTUS 47, and that White House nonsense yesterday. The three, and I see them separately, the three combined just make me want to vomit. How can you ask a man who's brave enough to fight alongside his troops while he's not wearing a suit? How dumb of a question was that? Dumb. Not only dumb, disrespectful, demeaning, all the things. Had the man shown up in a suit and sat down, you'd have been saying, "Oh, but your country is at war. Why are you here looking like you're getting married today?" What kind of, I don't even know where that conversation was going. And as for his impatience, I think Zelensky had every reason to be impatient with him. I saw a list of how many times, ways, and excuse me, excuse me, how many times, ways, and occasions, excuse me, that Zelensky thanked the U.S. for assisting him. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that everyone in the Oval Office was rude to him, disrespectful to him, and I'm including the people that said nothing. Why? Because you should have spoken up against the people who were so vocal. Your silence is a statement as well. Your silence is a statement as well. Keeping quiet is a statement all by itself. And it can be read in any way. But when you are sitting with the majority who are being disrespectful, guilt by association, my friends. I was so angry to see that yesterday. I actually saw it. Now that it's warming up, the bugs want to come out now. I'm hot. It's Florida. Welcome to Florida. North Florida stays in this constant change of of weather. Um, but yeah, what kind of foolishness was that in the White House yesterday? I have never felt so embarrassed. I mean, I have friends the world over, and they surely must be thinking to themselves, these Americans, when will they ever learn to respect other people? And it seems the answer is never, or at least no time soon. This is going to be our undoing. People have predicted it. People have talked about. I even saw, is it George or John? Carwill is his last name. He's a commentator for politics in the U.S. Carville. James Carville. I apologize. I can't think of the name. If you know his name, just put it in the chat. But anyway, he was surmising that POTUS 47 may be suffering with the side effects of a disease. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I will just suggest that you listen to what Carville has to say. If I can make a point of it, I will put a link in the description for this video so that you can go and hear it firsthand. I don't want to risk misstating what he said or in any way redressing it. It starts off being sort of cheeky, but then you come to realize that Mr. Carville is quite serious in what he's saying. He uses a phrase that we use in the black community a lot when we see someone who's a little bit off center and doesn't have all their marbles. The elevator doesn't go to the top floor. We say that boy ain't right. And it's a statement of acknowledgement, not mockery. It is a statement of realizing that a person is twisted in the head, emotionally, psychologically, just a hot mess in their head. And I'm starting to think that I agree with him. There were British Empire aristocracies that have suffered under the leadership of a mad person. And the reason was because the person had a disease. Think back in your history lessons, and you'll know what I mean. It wasn't hereditary, it was some sort of disease that had been contracted. And the side effects of said disease is that you actually come apart, you come undone, and you lose your buttons, your marbles. If you're just joining, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. And welcome in, welcome in. This is Midlife Priceless, and I'm Miss Margaret. My voice is a little bit wavery. If you just tuned in, you would have heard me sneezing a couple of minutes ago. Something's blooming and things are drying and the sun is up and the birds are flying and the bees are buzzing and all the beautiful things, but it ends up in my throat. So sometimes my voice gets weak or it'll come and go like it's doing right now. Um, but what I'm talking about this morning is part of my morning mocha show where I really just have to get some things off my chest so that I can clear my mind and my heart to start the day. It is very late morning here. It's 11:24, but again, I was up late last night trying to get that live broadcast out. I just can't believe that the microphone didn't work. It explains to me though why it is that a lot of the YouTubers, when they come on and they have a live, they keep saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can, put a one in the chat." And then everybody has to put a one in the chat. I thought they were kind of just killing time so they could earn the watch time on YouTube, but that's not it. You actually can't tell if people can hear you or not because the volume bar, when you test it going into your broadcast, you can see it before you go in, but once you get in the broadcast, it disappears and you can't really tell whether or not people can hear you. I have to get better at that software platform and figure out what I did wrong. I'm sure it's there. Look at me right in my face, and I just didn't notice it. So that's one thing I want to work on today because that can't happen twice. So I have a show coming up. I got a show coming up. It'll be a live. I have a guest lined up. In fact, I have two guests lined up for two different shows, which is why I have to get StreamYard under control, or at least get me under control with knowledge about how to manage this thing. Um, so, what are we going to be talking about? On Monday afternoon, I'll try to remember to schedule it so that it goes out. I'm just nervous. I can't stand that volume problem happening more than once. Um, so on Monday, Ice Cold Truth, ICECOLE Truth, Ice Cold Truth will be my guest. She's starting a channel, and we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. And she and I know each other from the dance community. We both are Chicago steppers. If you don't know what that is, we'll be talking about that too. And well, we won't be talking about it, but that's how I know her. So it'll get mentioned. I should say it that way. So we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. And the interesting part for me is this is going to be ad libbed. There is no agenda, there is no list of talking points. And she and I agreed that we would give it a try to just see where the conversation goes. So it'll be about an hour. I hope you join us. And I will schedule it. I will schedule it. I hope it's not a disaster. I just hope and pray it's not a disaster. Uh, Other than that, what can I tell you? Oh, the other show is going to be with a very good friend of mine I've met in 1990. How many years ago is that? 35 years ago. He is an expert photographer. He has a collection of thousands on top of thousands of images that he took when he was working and living in Africa. So I think he has pictures from Ghana, Malawi, Botswana. I don't think he has Nigeria. He's mostly West and Central, but no, that's not true either because we met in Egypt. So there you go. You know, you never know where life will take you. And lovely person. So I asked him to categorize his pictures and maybe give us 5 to 10 from each country that are his top favorites. But the one picture that I want him to, or one category of images I want him to share above all else, is a series he did on how women carry things, whether it's a baby, groceries, while they're walking, how they transport goods for themselves and their families. And I remember seeing some of those pictures, and they were lovely, 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 lovely. And so much to see when you catch that moment in time, you know? You don't just find yourself uh, staring and not knowing what you're looking at. It's not abstract art, it's literal, and I love it. He is really, really talented. So I'm excited about that show. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge with StreamYard because StreamYard again wants to give you all this hell about, you know, how many images you can show. So I guess I need to put it in PowerPoint and then show the PowerPoint. If you're a YouTuber, you know the hell that I'm talking about. You just got to hang in there with the thing and try to get it done. So anyway, my sausage is cooking. I can smell it. It's so nice. And my coffee is outstanding. It's a little bit strong. I brew my own coffee. I don't like instant coffee and I don't like drip coffee. If I can't percolate it, I'm probably not going to have coffee. But I have to have coffee. I have to have coffee. Otherwise, the day cannot begin. So that's just about everything. Those are my thoughts of the day. I'm looking for a package to arrive today. I ordered something that I ought not, and no, I did not need it, but it's a nice party outfit. I love to go out dancing, what you heard me talk about before, which is Chicago stepping. I love Chicago stepping. It is partner dancing. It is the African American version of ballroom, although we do have one version of ballroom and we call it ballroom. I love ballroom, it's just so beautiful. When the black version, Chicago ballroom, if that's what we call it, just the way you glide, and it's so pleasant, and the lady's being treated like a princess. It is lovely, and the man is just looking all too good. Um, in the dance community, in the Chicago stepping community, we have a protocol about behavior in terms of a man treating a lady like a lady. Come and ask her to dance. Put your hand out and ask her, would she have this dance with you? You don't just point to her from the dance floor and do like this. We're not doing that. We're just not. And you might get away with it if you already know the person. But if you don't know the person, I promise you, you'll be standing there doing this all night if you don't know the person. Um, but you still want to extend that courtesy as a gentleman and as a lady. Your job on the dance floor is to follow and look pretty. It's been interesting to participate in that dance community, Chicago Steppin'. Why? You come to find out very quickly whether or not a man has the capacity to lead. And speaking of imposter syndrome, we have quite a few imposters on the dance floor, if you ask me. So that'll be a great conversation. And I would like to go dancing again. I haven't been out dancing in a long time. If you've ever seen R. Kelly's video, Step in the Name of Love, that's what Chicago Stepping is. And that's the style of dance I enjoy. I like being treated like a lady. I like getting dressed up. And we have a lot of theme parties. So it could be a hats and boots with a Western theme. It could be pink is the color of the night during DC's Pink Blossom Stepping event. It's when the cherry blossoms are blooming all around Washington, D.C. Those trees were a gift from China, I think. Uh, we also have had green as a theme, blue, uh, what is it? Hot and cool. No. Oh, Texas heat is a nice one. Now that one doesn't have a theme for attire, but it's quite a great weekend of dance. The only thing is, I wish they had food. I can't dance all night and there are no snacks, and I don't want to bring snacks. I want you to have them. So if you're listening in Houston and you know who you are, give us some food. Mark up the ticket about 10 or 12 bucks. I wouldn't care. Already paying a lot for them anyway. Anyway, that's my rant for that. Love my coffee. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna log off and get this day crack-a-lackin'. It is already 11:30 and I haven't done diddly but sit here and talk to you, sip my now cold coffee, and smell sausage. I would not call that an accomplishment. Today I'm going to work on my novel, get some editing done. I think I should go to the gym too. I haven't been in a few days. My toe was hurting, so I just stopped going, give my body a little rest. I might have been going at it too hard. At 60, we have to be careful. Don't wear it out. It wears thin real quick. So you all have a great day. Thank you for joining me for Morning Mocha at Midlife Priceless. I hope you like, subscribe, and share. It's a little late for me to ask you to comment. So that's it for now. Yeah. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Eat all your lunch and play nice with others. Bye for now.